we come and we start to live here. For example, this friend, he just take a piece of land 3 years ago, and now he's making a little house. Today is a big day, I suppose, for him, because there is, I see he bring one solar panel for his house. He chose a very rocky place without water, without electricity, and he wants to show his botanical plants. He wants to show how to make what he call extreme agriculture, and he have success in it. So I invite all of you to come again. This visit will be very short. It is only for a first impressions of our village. But I invite you to come for another time, for more time, because there is many places to visit. There is Daniel's place, our center further. This guy is living. There is more than 15 families who take places here. So when you have opportunity, you can just contact us and come to visit. And now it's just short impression. Thank you for all of this.
Okay, are we all gathered?
Let's go. We are all together.
Okay.
We have the free choice in our life, so who wants to participate can participate. Who wants to do other things can do whatever he wants in his life. These are the good things, the good news for today. So by what I understood, we have like a theme of our meeting. And it was very interesting to me that Peter tells me about this a few months ago, and I realized that there is something, because he is from the scientific layer of the Bulgarian society. I understood that there is communication between different things, that these people are not separate from the world, but they go in the world and they try to understand, and by discussion to communicate with different really to have the point of different, if we can call them layers of the society, or people who make really different things. And the theme was, I think you call it something like Erasmus generation or something like this, but to me, because here we have between 300 and 1,000 people every year coming in our place, and most of them are...
Guys, just a second. If you're gonna have other conversations, please just step a little bit away from the camera, because we're filming and we're getting multiple voices on it. Thanks.
And there is lots of people who come from different continents and countries, and there is one main question who is appearing apparently. It is why they come, what they do here in this shop school place, where the people say the winter is so heavy, there is dry season, there is no enough water in the summer, the people are very rude. What they are doing, because I asked myself this question many times, what I am doing here in this environment, and slowly the answers they appear. So maybe to help you to open and to help ourselves to open this discussion, we can make just a small review in the history of this place, and like this we can get answers of some of the questions. So exactly here we are in the center of this Zhelen village, which is this areas was the people were living from long years ago. Here is a whole network. Oh, so let's be clear. Now I'm doing just a very small touch of many interesting themes. So for this amount of people and for this time we dispose with, we can have only survey, not deep interactions, but only touch different themes. And I will give you after personally a visit card. If someone wants to exchange, please take the initiative to contact us and to exchange on the theme we can exchange, because I'm sure I can learn lots of things with you and to exchange. So here is a whole network of what until today they call the sacred places, which are before Christianity, related with some rituals, and it is very interesting because we can find relation between the Celtic Druid traditions and Old Bulgarian Thracian traditions, and these are lines which are formed from trees, stones and stars. So I will finish with this theme just to give you to let it open, so we can have the choice to enter in it, because when we don't know something, it is okay, but when we know something, after we are responsible of what we do with this information. Are we doing something, or are we just passive and doing nothing? So I want to try to make the difference between spirit of consumption, when we only consume, and the spirit of exchange, when we take but also we give. And sometimes it's even to me, it's even better to give without to make mistakes than to do nothing. So in my last 10 years in my life, I do many mistakes. Like this, I can learn one or other thing. So there is this network of sacred places people were living thousands of years ago. After the Roman Empire, they come and they quite change them lifestyle and destroy this, putting one what they call Occidental culture. And I will just say the words of one grandmother which I met 10 years ago. She was very like 90 years old, quite old, and she never go to school. She tells me one interesting thing, because to me it was information directly passed through the times without any books, internet, school or something. It is that she told me, when the Roman people they come, they do two main things. They cut the big trees because to change the believing, because before the big trees was like churches to the people, they was believing in these trees, and they make the straight road. Before, she say, the road was to your field when you grow food, to your house. So there is plenty of little roads just to move your heavy things. But the people was having this lifestyle, and if they want to travel long distances, they just use the natural form like the mountains, etc. And after with the Occidental culture, they make, the Roman Empire, lots of big roads, like to Sofia, Istanbul, Tsarigrad, etc. And after this come the Christianity. And what is interesting, that there is a big integration. What is good in the whole story, that lots of moments there was a fight between two things, but after we arrive to find integration and the things they go together. So these are now Christian places, but they are related with certain forms of the nature. If you are interested, you can go deeply in this by contacting us and coming into stage or for a few days to understand more about something. But I would like just to make you one little exercise. If you can do like this with your hands. Are you able to do with your 3 fingers just this form, that here you have everywhere the same distance?
Same distance.
Yeah, so if you, this form, it is everywhere in the nature. You can see in the trees, when the trees open, when the mountains are like this, and just go in the nature and observe, you will find this form everywhere. By the way, this is the 3-dimensional model of the carbon molecule, which is 40% of all the things. It is carbon on the organic and the living beings. So we will let also this stem open. So by coming and exchanging, you can understand why exactly the water, the spring water is coming, etc., etc. So the Roman Empire, they come, they change the lifestyle. After there was times of different, and we arrived to the Ottoman Empire, and during these times the people was mainly moving to live down. So during the Ottoman Empire there was the people, they quit the mountain, they don't live anymore. Here was like dangerous nature. Here was wolves, wild boars, bears and stuff like this. And in these times Zhelen, this village, was created again, recreated after a moment of nobody living here. And Zhelen coming from crying, Zhelene. This is the cried village because how it is created, it is Bulgarian people who have problem with the Ottoman power, like they kill a cop or they do something. They just run here in the bush and they get bushmen, like the people living in the bush. And especially on the other place we live, it is very visible, all this lifestyle. You see even the old walls, they find a place where they have little water and they have the view. So when the people, like the police, come to look for us, they see the birds flying over the forest, like this, that they understand there is people moving coming to them, and they have time to prepare themselves to stop these people or to save them lives. Anyway, in one moment the power come and they ask to them taxes, because they was living here, they was having sheep, animals, so they get richer and richer. because the whole history of Bulgaria, we was very rich country by the earth. We have lots of plants and animals, and here our tradition and our nature is enough to make the people rich only from the nature. So to give you the example, the ships, you have 10, the next year you have 20, after 40, 80, 160, etc., etc. So they come and they ask taxes. They ask the people, okay, you live here now, forget about the problems you have, but we want taxes. And the people, they say, we will not pay you taxes, so they kill everybody in the village. And after they was having houses, but new people coming from somewhere which have problems, they come here and they hide again in these houses and they recreate that village. After they come again and twice they kill everybody. And after they do for 3 times, so 3 times they kill everybody in Zhelen. So here is like a tradition to come in
Kill everybody.
in an abandoned house and to start live in a place where people was living, dying. You like take the old, it is kind of recycling humans, recycling buildings, things like this. Okay, to be short, here was the first place they start to live. And just to tell you, during the Ottoman Empire, Zhelen was so big and full of people, was 4,000 people here. And when they collect, in one moment they establish finally that they will take taxes. And so when they take the taxes from Leskovdo, from the other villages, both even from Svoge, they was bringing here the wool and they was coming here to take the wool. And there is also the Haiduti people with these small horses. There is one hill is Drimet, they go there, there is one valley, you can see everything. So they see there was lots of horses, army and even camels, and they start going from Sofia, from one village to another village to collect the taxes. So they go, they take 10% of your wool, of your grain, of everything. And these guys, when the little bird cuckoo, cuckoo in the springtime start singing, they meet together there. So after they see these taxes and they see how the stuff is moving, it gets more and more money and stuff. In one moment, with the horses, they go, they kill the people and they talk all the stuff. It was kind of alternate, half criminal, half stuff, but this was the opposition of the how they was living. And so this was the established order. In one moment there was village, or what we call the Bulgarian Renaissance. Here was village with 4,000 people. They were paying the taxes, so the village was officialized after the liberation. And for example, here we have a very primitive culture. Like if you go to other villages around Trnovo, even in Osenovlak, the next village, you see big houses, you see architectural elements. It is more like large living, more rich things. Here in Zhelen we are very primitive. You see, this is for example the teacher's house. Here was living the teacher, it was the school. So this and another house, there are the biggest houses. So the biggest houses with 3 rooms inside. So it is a very modest lifestyle because it is question about surviving. So we find our place in this also, it is in our wave. We are the survivors who we just want to show the model how to survive and how to live normally. After you can take the example. After with the communist times, for example, with this house was 2 acres of land, all the fields, there was with corn, with wheat, there was having animals. After this house was abandoned for 67th year, there was nobody, because during communist times everybody have to go to work in the factories or in the mines under the ground. You cannot be peasant anymore. And there was obliged. So 60 years this house was abandoned and here was only an empty field. And my grandmother in the year 70, she bought this house and she started very on a modest way to renovate it with clay, with lime, put some cards, boot and wallpapers on the 2nd floor. You can have a look on the house. And what's interesting that this house is a meeting of 2 underground water axes. So by living on a certain way and understanding, because I don't understand it, by start having a small idea for these 10 years I'm doing this, you start seeing where the water go under the ground, to suppose where is a rock under the ground, where is a spring under the ground, so you can calculate how to plant a few trees, and in one moment there will be wet zones and springs. And this was also the vision of my grandmother. So she take this, but in these times you cannot buy big land. So she just buy the house with little yard around, and she start planting lots of trees. So from the empty field, you start to having this rich nature. The goal of what we are doing, and also we understand that is why the people come here. And I was discussing with Dr. Pashkulev, with who we work from long time, because I was saying, okay, Peter we'll have a discussion, and he say, when you say the name, the people have to understand what you will talk about, etc., etc. So the name of the discussion we want to provoke, it is a healthy family, like family with values, how to live in a family, how to have family feelings even between people who are not blood related, and ecologic interaction. This means how we can help each other, forget about the concurrence, how to help each other that everybody can have access to air, water, nature, good fruits and this stuff, and how we can help each other and live like this. And we think that is what we are, the young people from the foreign and all the all ages people, they are looking for this. And it's very precious, because the only way I can see many videos on YouTube, but I will never learn really something. We can exchange video materials between Vlahi and Eco Farms, everything, but what I understand, it's one foreign guy, he go to Vlahi, they teach him how to do these walls and all this. After he come here, he teach me. So you have the stationary, the center, what we call eco villages, or whatever you want to call. You have the traveler, the people who go, they learn one thing, after they come here, they teach this to us. This is the only way to exchange really the knowledge. All the other is virtual. It's why I want to move, to provoke you to act in the future, because just to consume on the front of the screen, we are the generation screen, you know. I want to provoke you to, when you walk, to feel how soft is dirt under your feet, how many birds are singing in the same time, to feel the wind on your skin, to smell, and all this to use the five, to begin with the five senses, because this is the way to be happy, I believe. So what we are doing practically, how to start. So this is the house, this is empty field. So you have to recreate the wet zone. She started doing this, and the result was in 2005, where was the big rains and all. The spring started to enter in the cave, so the house was full of water, this going outside. So we make this little hole here, 70 cubic meters of soil, we take out with the digging machine, we make drainage, la la la. And now when it is the rain, you have the little lake here. So we try just to protect the house from the water. Out the other, it is wet zone, because like here is a model. We want our other place, we are living 3 kilometers from here on a dry land. We want up there in 20 years to be like here, because this is started 40 years ago. She worked a lot, and now we can profit. So, like here is good soil, there is a well with water, so here we can plant vegetables, because understand that also to plant your food, everybody say, we want to live organic, to plant our food, so everybody is looking for super good place. After we go to the super good place, we start exploit the nature, exploit, after it's not good place anymore. So we are trying also to show example how you go in a dry place, you make it good, after you start to be careful how you exploit it. So for this autumn especially, I invite you everybody to come, because from here we have hundreds and hundreds of little trees which are in this garden. We have to move them up there, and to plant we have 3 acres, 30,000 square meters of land there to work on it, so it can look like this. So there is 5 main elements about what we do, about to do this environment. The first is to combat the erosion. So we have like this, the rain is coming, all the organic matter is going away, we want to stop it. So this can be making walls, what we play here with stone, so you can make the walls from stone. Here you can, let's have a little round in the garden. Here you can make it from wood, from anything. The aim is just to stop the soil leaving your place, and to cover with vegetation. And even Papa Jan, he was speaking, he make one from 1 to 100, like he give number to every plant. You have the absolutely dry soil. For example, here we create little dry mountain where I was digging with the digging machine. We just put, so the good fertile soil we move away, and the clay which is not so fertile, we make one mountain, which is an example, a small example of what the humans they do in a big scale. They just leave the mountains without vegetation. So you can start slowly making terraces and put a vegetable cover. For example, the Mursalski chai, which our friends from Gudevice, they know very well this plant. It is very good for this area. So we can, he say, like when you bring a machine and you take out the vegetation of one place, it is exactly like to take a knife and to cut 3-4 centimeters square of your skin. When it happens, we don't leave it like this on the sun. We start, we try to put something. After we look like this, we do like this, and we take care many time about this. So this is the same with dirt. When we make erosion, it is like a problem. If we just leave it, this will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and we will have real trouble. But we have to cover. This is by mulching and to really heal it. And there is plants which them natural form, naturally. Papayan, he call les plantes pansement, c'est les plantes qui couvrent la peau. These are plants which really, I don't know how, like bandage plants. They, for example, this type of plants
Help regenerate the skin.
yeah, they are very resistant
tissue.
to the dry. They collect the water and they try to cover. They are the bandage plants. After there is other plants like the plantago, which then form it to stay like this and to collect every drop of water to take here. Also this Papayan says this is what we have to observe if you are consciousness here and now, what we call the mechanic of plants. The plant have a certain form, and this form, it is not hazard, you know. The official science, they look only 1% of the whole bloody stuff on this nature. And they try to separate the spirit from the matter. So they take 1% and they go really deep and they say we are super scientific, we know really well 1% of everything. The only thing we know is that we don't know. This is a very good beginning. If you know that you don't
Like
know,
Socrates says. So.
yeah, you can start learning. But this was a very, he told me 2 years ago, I started observing the mechanic of plants, that the plants, they really move the water. So you have the plants which then form, they cover the dry soil. There is other plant like this agapant plants. You can see the leaves are like this. So they will take every water which is possible, they will bring it to them. And also, what is really interesting, that in the air, if you observe well, it's flying a lots of little dust, little leaves, little things which are flying in the air. And there is plants like the plantago major, Givolec, le plantain. This plant is taking the dust it is putting. So when you come like this and you look under, you can go there or wherever you go in the plants which have this form. You go, you will see that make like micro compost. They are collecting the dust from the air and they are putting it and they are like making mulching. They are super intelligent in all this stuff. Also when there is a lots of rain, so the plant is collecting the water. But if there is too much water, lots of rain, you will see that this plant will change his form. He will start doing like this. So there will be water. He say, okay, I have enough now. Can you take this water, please? You have really plants you can observe which, when it's raining, it's very good. You walk, you see how the plants, they give the water to each other. And they bring the water exactly when it's necessary. For example, when it's this big rain, we go under the tree, okay? Why we go under the tree? Because there is rain. You go under the tree and you stay like this to don't have so much water. And you see that there is a places, it's like the water is coming, and there is dry places. Okay? You understand this when you are under the tree. If you look this tree, this is the part of the tree. Imagine under the ground there is lots of roots, yeah? So this tree, it is like mirror. We can imagine that this is the part of the tree, but you have under the ground also. And these roots have a very similar form to the upside. I will ask you one question, for example, who like to don't stay like only speaking. You have, for example, this tree. I want to give him compost. I want to fertilize this tree. For example, I make my liquid compost with nettles. I want to give food to this tree. Where I will put this food? How I give to this tree? Well, to him I will put in a cup, I will give to him orally. But where you put the food to this tree?
Around the roots.
Near the trunk.
Yeah, where? Show me exactly on the ground where you will put the...
But it depends also the type of
The size, yeah?
the size of.
Okay, if it's you, where you will put the... Just 2-3 persons show me exactly the place where I have a bucket with shit, where I put this shit. Show me where.
where all the leaves are, but mirroring them on the ground.
Very good. Is there other opinion? So this young lady is amazing. This is the first time someone, because most of the people they say they will put near the leg there. Yeah, near the root. But this is a circle, because the roots they go, and the little roots which are actually drinking, they have similar form like the branches. So if you want to fertilize this tree, the best place to put this food, it is to create a circle, a ring around the tree, which is you look the branches and
Parallel.
you put. This is the good place to feed him, especially if you want to go a little bit further. When it's raining, you go under the tree and you see this place, because the tree himself orientate all his leaves, he can move it, and exactly the place where he's making the water, the rainwater coming, exactly there under there is the big roots which take the juice. You understand this?
Mhm.
Okay. So you have to combat the erosion. After, you have to establish a vegetable cover of useful plants, so you can make products or you can feed yourself. Now what is better, we just go behind each other. We stay only in the pot, like everybody goes exactly behind the person who is in the front of him, and we stay only in the pot, and that's all. Ще го направим, сега ще измислим. Айде от тук да минем и така ще направим кръгче, така че всички да се намърдат.
Добре.
Така. The idea is just to go like we can see everybody. So you have two types of plants. One are plants you plant every year, like the tomato. You can see some courgette, some peppers, some spices. And the other are plants when you plant them once and they give more. So because here in exactly this Zhelen village, we don't have very good soil, so we produce a minimum of vegetables for our consumption, and we try to have a maximum of wild herbs which we can make products with it, because, you know, for example, you make pumpkins. You know, there is a one Bulgarian proverb, the valley is giving birth to pumpkins and the mountain is giving birth to people, or something like this, or to... Anyway, как е?
Humans.
To humans, yeah. I want to say that you have pumpkins. To make one pumpkin like this, you need a certain amount of water. For example, 30 liters of water every day during the dry season. And with the same quantity of water, you can grow 10 fruit trees. For example, I want to plant pears or apples or something. So for this tree to survive during the dry period, which is, for example, 60 days, July and August, there is very dry. So for this tree, I will need only 3 liters of water per day. And for the pumpkins, I will need 30 liters of water per day. So with the water I will do one pumpkin, I can have 10 fruit trees. Also this pumpkin, okay, I eat it. And the fruit trees, if tomorrow I die, they stay after me. So this is kind of more sustainable than the rest. So what we are oriented also, for example, you make 1 kilo of tomatoes. 1 kilo of tomatoes, I can give it to someone and he will give me donation of 5 leva, for example, maximum. And if you make herbs, you can dry them. After you can make mixture between different herbs. You can make tea. So one packet of tea we make 100 grams, and I have donation of 7 level. So even for the point of view, when you have poor land, you have to imagine, to be creative, how to produce what you need for your health, and how to the excess, because what we say, when you live, you need to do something with your hands to produce something to satisfy yourself, and for few things to have too much. Like when I have too much from something, I can exchange with him, and like this we make exchange, you know. So for example, here is a little piece. You can say this is Salvia sclarea, which is similar to Salvia officinalis, but it is not toxic, the essential oil, so you can consume it every day. This is the Echinacea plant, which is making stronger the immunity. These are different types of mint. These are a very old type of shrub apple. This apple will never grow to a tree, it's just a shrub giving apples. After they die, and from the roots it's coming new apples. Because you know, when someone leave the goats and the goat eat your apple tree, like for example the big one, the apples there, they will die. They don't like if someone eats the bark. But this, the goats can eat it, it will not die because the new shrubs will grow, so it's very resistant, a very old type. I propose you, when you establish your life and your gardens, to use these all kind of fruits. For example, here we have the chance to have 4 or 5 different types of tree. And do you know, the new trees, if you plant the seed, it will grow tree which don't give nice fruits. This is the actual, but the old types of tree, they pollinize each other. For example, this apple, it's golden, and this apple is red. And here we have one baby apple, which is a children between this one and this one. So they get pollinized, and they have children here. And because these are good types of apples, these children is giving a super nice apple, which is between red and yellow, multicolor, and very nice. Na zdrave. So like this we try to develop into kind of plants which are rustic. Like even if you have to imagine all the time you construct things, if tomorrow truck smash me, if I die, to the things they continue. Papa Jan says this is the way of sustainability. Something is sustainable, you put efforts, you create it, after you move you go another place or you disappear from the system, but the system continue. Exactly how he construct in La Réunion one eco-village, after in Germany he make one project, after he come for 1 year in Bulgaria, now he's in Madagascar, and everywhere he come, he help us, after he goes away, and we continue. This is also his way of sustainability.
Can you tell us a few words about him? Because you mentioned him a few times.
I mean, this is the guy from 2003 to 2005. I discovered him, he was living in the mountains of La Réunion Island. This in the Indian Ocean between Madagascar and Australia, and it is like this very high mountain. There is no road for the car, everything we bring on the back, and there is one flat places on 1,600 meters, and there was only stones, nothing, no soil, nothing, because the people, they cut all the trees, and there is cyclone, lots of wind and rain, and super erosion. And even before, in the year 70, by the way, the same time when my grandmother buy this place, one religious brother from monastery in south of France, on the age of 60 years, he quit this monastery, he traveled to this island, and he buy this dry place. And he start planting grass, because from zero, if you start from zero, first on the stone you put something with fibers, like plants like yucca or different plants, which are, you just fill the holes. After you throw the seeds from the graminy herbs, Herba gramine, it is all which is similar to weed. This is the graminy herbs, and they grow. And the graminy herbs have a super interesting quality, that the young herb is eating the body of the old herb. So this family of plants, only by the sunlight, by the humidity, they create matter. This is the provement that the energy and the matter, they are the same thing, because there is the plants from the energy, from the elements, the water, the air, the sun, and the love, they make the soil, they make the fifth element. So you need the air to be anaerobic, the composition, you need the humidity, the water, you need the fire of the sun. If you put the love, if you act to create the compost, this is making the fifth element, which is the soil. In the same way, these graminy herbs, they start growing. So you have lots of graminy herbs, you cut them on the new moon, because when you cut on the new moon, they grow twice again. And then after they are established, you start planting the next step, because here is already fertile. So here 30 years later we are in the phase that we start to stop the graminy herbs because they are too much, and we start to import the leguminous herbs. So this clover, you ask why they are so big. So in the next step, because if you put the clover on the rock, the clover will never grow. But if you establish once the graminy herb, after you can pass on the... This is like when we learn in the school about how a desert island gets a forest. First you have the herbs, after you have one small animal, one bird with shit, etc., etc. And finally, thousands and years later, you have a forest. So we have to, let's say Masanobu Fukuoka, to copy from the nature and to make on the same way. So this religious brother, he buy the place, he start establishing this. After he take one local guy to help him. This local guy have 4 children. And this Irishman, Papa Jan, in the years 90, he go there, he meet the girl of this guy, and they marry and they have 7 children. So in the age 2003, when I was there, he was following the work of this guy. The guy was dead already, the Frere Jimalak, the religious brother. But the result is that from this desert area, there was 16 acres, 160 decars. And from this 160 decars, 120 was a gardens. So I go there, and there was a community with families which live. We have a little like shop, and the people, they walk in the mountain. Lots of European climbers and all. They climb because it's like this, with them super equipment and all. And we are there in one little barrack from wood, and we say, why you climb? You don't take the elevator, the ascensor. And they are like this. So what is this guy? What elevator? You say the elevator, it is to drink. This is this herb. I propose you this tea. In the tea there is geranium, which will open your lungs. There is the heliotrope, will help you to move the blood. There will be the canela to stimulate a little bit, and there is the yellow flower to clean the blood, so you don't have toxins. And like this they drink, and they say, it's very nice taste. You say also it is very healthy. In the moment they make in them head, okay, it is tasty, this is healthy, so they, you offer in the first time to drink, after they can buy the little packet. So like this, in the same time you offer, in the same time you realize your products, they buy because they like, it's tasty, it is healthy, and you make the microeconomy. So this guy just showed me how to go in one place, to find the place which need help. And this is not difficult at all, to find the places which need help. You install yourself, you start living, and then you start to do the stuff. So this is the thing at main. You have these 5 things: to combat the erosion, to establish vegetable cover everywhere from useful plants, which will give you products, to manage the forest as a renewable energy. I don't know how is in English this.
Renewable.
Yeah, that you can cut trees to build houses, to burn for fire, and these trees, they are growing more and more. Like to live from the excess, to live from the abundance, to create abundance, and to live from the excess, and not to exploit until there is nothing left. Erosion, forest, establishing a vegetable cover, to recycle your rubbish, like the bottles to clean and everything, and the spring zone. The 5th is how to renovate the spring, how to... someone can repeat, because I'm lost. You know the 5, or I'm just like you watch the TV, the guy speaking, okay, from one ear to the other. So what are the 5 elements?
I'm watching a TV, literally, so...
Okay, so we make the walls to stop the erosion. First, we will work for the forest, to help the forest to be more forest and to live from the excess. We establish vegetable cover, so to have the floor of the forest tree, you see, the big tree. After, under this floor, you have the floor of the fruit trees, which are smaller. Under the fruit trees, you have the floor of the shrubs. Under you have the floor of the good herbs, and after the little herbs, and like this, because what is evolution? Evolution, it is 2 things: biodiversity and floors. This is the forest, that's what we want, and like this you have abundance, you can live. So establish the vegetable cover, combat the erosion, look after the forest, renovate the spring zone. This is, you have to come to understand more about this. And last, it is the vocation of composting. It is to understand that the soil is alive, then in 1 cubic centimeter there is 1 million of organisms living, and to understand that this nature, he creates the aerobic degradation. This is the process in the presence of warmth, humidity and air to create the soil, and this soil is giving you plants. The soil is the environment to the plants to live. If you have plants, you have everything. You have food, you have house, you have nice healthy environment, you have everything. So this is the universal vocation. I take it like we have evolution, and I think the human is not the most evaluated thing on this universe. So our destiny, more or less, is to become an angels, you know, and to do this, the one way which is sure we can do it, it is by composting. So you can put your love, the fourth element, to use the fire of the sun, the humidity, the air, and to put your efforts to creating composting, to work on these four things, to stop the erosion, to help the spring zone, and this will create the soil. And when you have soil, you have everything. So this is the very synthesized the way we are doing, and this is very normal. Also behind, so if you want what they call sustainable, because now it's very modern, sustainable development, and you know in Europe more and more what, sorry about the Occidental guys and girls which are here, but I know in Bulgaria some people, they are orientated in the same way, etc., etc. But what they call sustainable development, it is how to make this absurd which exists to sustain longer. So we are not exactly agree with this stuff. So all I told you now was for the first, because you know the sustainable development, you have three areas of responsibility. The first is the environment. The second is the culture, the tradition, the social aspect, what they call, and the third is the economy. So we take the same thing, but we make a little bit different, because what I told you in the moment was the first domain of responsibility. This, what we just speak about, is how to take care about the environment. Okay, this is okay. The second is the culture and tradition. This is how to make this product to be authentic. Why our tea, it is authentical? Because this is from without chemistry, with biodynamic, with different things. Also, this is created from local people. He is a German, Raphael is a French, but he spent here 2 months, and this guy wake up every morning, he live like a peasant from 18th century, taking bath outside. Anyway, he's living on a local way, and when we create this product, this guy was living like a local guy. And also all the money, like you will give us donations, they go to Lelea Vesca, to all the local guys which help us, and they are reinvesting in this. So every time, this is the way on this planet, the environment create the stuff, the primary resource. So the person, they suck this resource and we use it. In the sustainable development, the environment give you the stuff. The second domain, a part of very important, is the traditional recipe. It's why we are working with Dr. Pashkulev, because he is dedicated to this knowledge. So you know that we make this tea will help you, because it is exactly in the same proportion. Also very important, it is the synergy. You know what is synergy? This is 1 + 1 does mean 3. When you put 1 and 1, it is 3. You take 1 man, 1 woman, and you wait 9 months, it is 3. You know, it is nothing, never to, like me and him, we can do more work. Like for 1 hour, I will do this work. For 1 hour, he will do the work. But if we go together for 2 hours, we'll make more work. This is phenomenon which is existing. And also I discovered this with Dr. Pashkulev 10 years ago. I was thinking I know about plants. Now I work with him from 10 years, I know that I don't know about plants. Because the good herbs, you mix this with this, and the effect, it grows. So in our teas, in all our products, he is dedicated, he's a medicine doctor, but from 30 years he worked with plants. He's studying this synergy, how the plants, they like the energy goes bigger. So This is the second, and this is going into products. So this is going to the microeconomy, and it's very important what you do after when you earn the stuff, because in the modern sustainable development, you take the stuff from the nature, after you transform it into products, after you realize these products, but nobody tells you what to do after with the money. So in our sustainable development, from the third area of responsibility, what we don't call economy, we call pominak. Pominak is an old Bulgarian word. It's coming from pas, the mine. So this means you have occupation until your time pass. Like I'm on this earth, for example, for 50 or 100 years, I need a pominak. This means I need an occupation to do something, to have what I need, what my family needs, until my time is past. After I will die and I don't need any more big castles and stuff. So we try to, because in this planet it's not possible that everybody gets super rich. The planet will be over before all the 7 million of people, they get super rich with all the laptop and super new car. It is not possible, so this should not be the main aim. The Bulgarian, I'm happy because there is a whole new wave of people who understand that it's not important which shoes you know, which windows you have, which car you drive, but the most important thing in our life is what my children is studying, what human will be my children after, and what I'm doing in my life. And this is to create an environment for the children. So, in the sustainable development, you take the profit from the third area after you reinvest in the environment, in the culture. So all the money we take, we reinvest in the environment, in the culture, because in the modern sustainable development, you take the money after you can do whatever you want. Like I buy new costume, super Mercedes, with the money you will give me today, you will see. Or we can share between everybody to buy one piece of something to build one more barrack, so like this you can sleep in the winter if you come, or something like this anyway. So you have this, the social aspect from one, it is the know-how, the knowledge, which is super important, but there is one condition to the knowledge be transmitted, is to say the truth. So this is, after we enter the second part of this culture, it is the value system. We need a value system, because if someone lie me, like if the doctor lies me with the teas, after you are not very happy with the result from these teas. So we systemize a very short value system, which is very simple. First is to say the truth, always, whatever happens, you just say the truth. This is very, once you start it, after it's okay. After is to respect the environment, respect your family, respect your friends, respect the others, and also respect your enemies. The people who choose to be your enemies in your life, if you respect them, it is also very funny after story, how it happens, all the stuff. After it is to have honor. Honor does mean to protect who are weaker than you, like the people who are old, sick, poor, or they are just less strong than me, to protect them. And people who are stronger than you, to make they to respect you, to oblige them to respect you, which is very interesting. Also there is, you can learn if you come, Papayan, develop a whole system of social leverage, how to oblige the enterprises. For example, here we have a very long fight about the trees, how they cut the trees, so we bring children into the forest, and you need a lots of times to do something, but this is also, you have to respect the people who choose to be your enemies. So you have to say the truth, to respect, to have honor, does mean to protect the less stronger and to make the more stronger to respect you. After, what you have? After is to have to find your vocation, does mean to find what you really like in your life, like he like to make integration between science and non-formal education, to finally relate this university world with the NGO world and all this, which is very needed work. You have vocation to make, I don't know, little bijou or something. And the last is to create an environment for the children, to find them vocation. It's very important. When you come here, first weeks we will give you different tasks. After we will see what you like, and you will find your vocation. And the last is to protect this value system. So the last value is to keep the 4 before. And so this is the value system. And the third, it is what we call about the microeconomy or stuff. And now I see the people, you see, I'm in the shadow, I'm super fine. And you are on the sun, you are, oh shit, this guy bring you here in the sun. So this is I do to you to see the difference between what is to when there is plants and what is there is no plants. Why we need this, why we feel happy when there is little shadow, there is no evaporation, we feel better in the winter, there is not so much wind, in the summer we are on the shadow. Oh, this is a part of this education. So I think this is all I can tell you very shortly about our activities. I would like, I don't know in which moment, Peter, you tell me, I want personally to give to every one of you one visit card. Like this, you are responsible of yourself. If one day you want to exchange with us, you can call me on the phone or type on the Skype and we can make activities together. Like if you need help for your garden, we can organize people so we can come for a weekend and help in your garden. Or if you want here to spend the time to help for the good herbs, we make pine tree syrup next week. After this different herbal mixture, we produce creams, teas, syrups if you want. I invite you very warmly for the 1st of 10 of August. It is our summer international meeting. This is 10 days under the tents. We provide food, healthy food, 3 times per day, and there is lots of yoga teacher, massage, there is course you can learn how to make massage. All the people they come and for free they share the knowledge. So you have lots of workshops you can participate for free. For 8-9 level per day you will have the food. We are not obliged. If you want, you can give. This is of course donation because we are not a commercial people. You can put your tents, and during these 10 days is a real minimum, because this what we do today, it is super surface. It's just to know each other a little bit. For 10 days you can little touch on things. And me, I spent 2 years with this guy. For 2 years I can have a small idea, because what he teaches finally only 2 things. This is how to create an environment. This can be an environment for a plant, for a children, or for an enterprise to stop cutting the forest. Anyway, this is just an environmental creation. We learn how to learn. So after I learn how to learn, I have only to learn all my life, and this is all we need. And the third, it is the language. It is how to speak the language, because with what I told you, 90% I repeat word by word how they tell to me. You know, I don't invite the things. I just take the things which I like, which I see they are true. I transmit them on the same way. The people in their brain, or they go, they say, ah, these nice guys, they live there. Or they say, okay, this is my visit card, how we can work together. And so this is, the choice is yours. When there is no knowledge, there is innocence. Where there is knowledge, there is responsibility. So now we are responsible, we go together further. Thank you for the attention and questions. And maybe we can go on the shadow somewhere. Or...
Yeah, you invite us around the tree.
Yeah, if you want, we can just make, sit wherever. This is the permaculture place where you, here you have digging garden and non-digging garden, so you can compare the systems. You think we can go in this shadow, maybe there, or somewhere just to make a circle?
Garden.
Ah, okay. So maybe if it is too wet to sit on the ground, we can invent something.
Oh, we can wash our clothes.
Over there we have, I think, maybe we can use them.
Yeah, the tires. Okay, there are very strong and nice boys which can help me to bring some. We make lots of food. No, се лъвочи. Дали ще може да я дигнем, ако всичките се хванем? Малко нещо опрява.
Да. По-опрял долу ли?
Как ме снимаш, как ям?
Но има и за руските църква.
Искаме палци. Мечките идват на метър от себе и...
Тази кола част от атракцията.
Ще кажи, да здрасти на твоя бат. И знаеш ли, че си неговия бат?
Да, разбира се.
Каза, това е моя бат.
Frank, say hi. Hi. Say bye. Okay.